This has Red Sox fans buzzing as Boston continues to win, increasing their win streak to 7 games now and having their playoff odds be higher than it's been in the past 3 years. We'd say why the Red Sox are hot and why it's going to continue right here on Red Sox Digest. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you tuning into the show. And just like the Red Sox Digest is hot as well. We are nearing 5,000 subscribers, just about 225 away, so I will tell you right now, as we get closer to the playoffs, you're going to want to subscribe. We're going to have game streams. We're going to have more videos, more content. And the Red Sox, if they stay hot, man, they could be the top team in the American League. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything Boston Red Sox related, because we'll have you covered here on Red Sox Digest. Let's talk a little bit about last night's game, a 6-2 victory for the Boston Red Sox over the Kansas City Royals, marking their 7th straight victory. And of course, you've got the pig, Garrett Crochet, on the mound. You expect to win those games. Now, the reason that this game was kind of a tell-all for me is the way that the Red Sox again were able to use their lineup to their advantage. Now, they had Masataka Yoshida in left field and had Jiren Durant in center to start off. They ended up moving Jiren to left and having Sedon in center field. And if you watched the game and saw Jiren Durant nearly make a spectacular play in left field, although it bounced off the glove, you know that the better outfield definitely does not consist of Masataka Yoshida, but they were able to win, and we once again saw the man, the myth, the legend, Trevor Story come out and just put on a clinic. He has done fantastic. I would argue that he might be I would maybe call him the AL comeback player of the year with the stuff he has been doing. I mean, what he has been able to put together after back-to-back seasons of being injured and a contract in Boston that has just felt lackluster, for lack of a better word. And now we get to see what he has been able to do, what he has been able to accomplish in a Red Sox uniform after it seemed like his Red Sox career may have been done. He may have been DFA'd earlier this year. That was a legitimate question. And now instead, we have gotten to watch him flourish, and we have gotten to watch the Red Sox jump all the way up here to the 4th best record in all of the American League and have a 2.5 game separation from the next best team, the Seattle Mariners. They have a 3-game wildcard lead on the New York Yankees, a 2.5 game lead on the Seattle Mariners, and are 3 games back of the Toronto Blue Jays of not only the best record in the American League, but also the literal AL East Division title. The Red Sox have not won that since 2018. That right there is something that fires me up, something that I want, that I've been begging for, that I've been wanting for this Red Sox team year in and year out. In 2021, it seemed like a possibility, but every other year, it has not even been this close. And you look at the Red Sox last 10, 9-1, 7 straight games. Nobody in the American League is even 6-4. That's the best the record it has. And it's, of course, the Detroit Tigers. And speaking of the Detroit Tigers, we're going to talk some Tariq Skubal and Garrett Crochet AL Cy Young talk here in a second, but I do want to bring up this with the strength of schedule calculator and kind of show you the Red Sox have a very good chance of potentially taking over the AL East Division title and a little bit of a chance to go out there and take the best record in the AL. Now, as it stands right now, the Red Sox have the 16th hardest strength of schedule remaining. If we look at the AL teams in front of us / any teams in our division, the New York Yankees are the only team that has an easier record going forward, but they just got swept by the Marlins and they continue to lose. So I'm not really worried about the New York Yankees. Meanwhile, the Toronto Blue Jays, you can't see them here, but they are number 14 on the strength of schedule list. However, they have a lot of very, very tough opponents coming up. If you look at their schedule, they've got to go to LA after their series in Colorado. Then they face the Cubs, then the Rangers. Those are all teams, the Dodgers and the Cubs leading their division, the Rangers fighting for a playoff spot. Then they have the Pirates and the Marlins. Those are not the most competitive teams. And then the Twins. So a little bit of a stretch there where they have 3 series back-to-back with teams that are not good before they face off against, right now, the team with the best record in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers. So there is a time for the Boston Red Sox to come in and try and swoop into that AL East Division lead. Now, if we look at the FanGraphs playoff percentage calculator, as of right now, the Boston Red Sox have a 79.9% chance to make the playoffs. This is tied for the I believe the 4th highest, and that is tied, or 5th highest rather, with the Yankees is what the statement is. I'm a little bit perturbed by this because the Mariners have an 81.3% chance, and even though, yes, their strength of schedule is a 26, I still believe their offense, even though the trade for Eugenio Suarez and Josh Taylor was made, I don't consider them to be better than the Red Sox right now, especially, but this is all based on stats and stuff going on. The wild card percentage, though, the Red Sox have a 63.8% to clinch the wild card. Obviously, the division is an interesting spot for the Red Sox. As of right now, it's a 16.1. The Blue Jays with a 69.1. Somehow the Yankees still have a 14.6 chance to win the division, but the biggest thing, and it's one that always has a little bit bias to it, even when you put in stats into it. It's the win the World Series percentage, as the Boston Red Sox have a 3.6% chance to win the World Series. If you look at the top 6, that is the lowest, because the Yankees, who again are stinking it up right now, have a 7.6 chance. How is that possible? Whatever. It's all percentages. It doesn't matter. We're playing better on the field than what they're doing on the field. That's what matters to me. But some of the guys that have been really heating up is Jiren Durant. I want to sit here and say I told you so in some ways to the fans that were saying trade him, and I'm not going to do that because he has just been absolutely spectacular since the start of July, batting .306, 30 hits, 6 homers, 25 RBIs. He continues to knock the ball around Fenway, and I'm very excited to see what he is able to do down the stretch. He is a key piece of this team, not just as a leadership value, but in the way that he can go out and change the definition of a game, being that leadoff hitter, being a guy who has good defense. He has been spectacular in the 3-hole, and when Roman Anthony went down for the past 2 games, guess what? Last night, hopped into that leadoff role and immediately had that RBI double in the 3rd to get us on top. He is the heart and soul of this team. In fact, he won that award yesterday for the 2nd year in a row. To the people who were saying trade Jarren Duran, I'm not saying this is your fault, because he always seems to play better with a little bit of motivation behind him, and he is doing just exactly that. But the last guy I want to focus on is the pig. Garrett Crochet has been all that's advertised and more. And I want to compare him to right now's AL Cy Young favorite, and that is Tarik Skubal. And if you ask a lot of media members, they say that there's no conversation. It's Tarik Skubal. But I say hold on. Right now, Garrett Crochet is right at the WAR percentage, 4.7 to 5.5. The wins-loss, guess who has more wins? Garrett Crochet. This was taken before updated because Baseball Reference stinks and it takes a data update. But either way, he has more wins. His ERA is very, very similar. That dropped from 2.23 to, or actually I think it went to like 2.24. His ERA plus is right there with him. His strikeouts are more than Tarik Skubal. His K percentage is right there. I mean, right now we are talking about Garrett Crochet as a triple crown watch. And people don't really talk about that. We have a legitimate Cy Young race on our hands. And the biggest thing to me, and I will give Craig Breslow his props, right now there are people talking about Tarik Skubal, who is a free agent coming up this season, in the $400 million range. That is players like Bryce Harper 4 or 5 years ago. Now the money has changed. Juan Soto got $750. I get it. Pitchers are going to get $400 now. But we are talking about guys who play the game every single day. Not a guy who pitches once a week, once or twice a week. $400 million. What did the Red Sox sign Garrett Crochet for? Someone remind me. Oh, $180 million. That's right. We have the guy who is legitimately right there with everybody's Cy Young candidate, even though I believe Garrett Crochet is just as good. Meanwhile, people are talking about Tarik with the $400 million. We're sitting here happy with a younger Garrett Crochet, with a guy who is still going to have a lot of innings left. Not to say Tarik Skubal does not. He is still young and has a lot of innings left. But Garrett Crochet is definitely a little bit younger and has a lot of time to improve, has gotten better and better, and is a legitimate ace. You saw on the thumbnail, you clicked on it, that scream he let out last night after striking out with a guy on second base, back-to-back strikeouts, mind you, to keep the game at a 1-run lead, is what aces are made of. It reminded me so much of 2018 Chris Sale. I'm excited for what the Red Sox have. I'm ready for more wins, and I gotta be quite honest, I have not been this confident about a Red Sox team in quite some time. It would probably have to be 2018, maybe, just maybe, in 2021 in the playoffs, because Kike Hernandez, Kyle Schwarber, that team had some dudes. But in the regular season and the way the team has been playing, this team started off slow. If this team does not start off slow or lose even half the one-run games they lost in the first 2 months, we are talking about the best team in baseball right now. They are forming into that team right now. They are doing it at the best time, and we have the AL Cy Young. We have an MVP candidate across the table. I think Bregman, if he doesn't get injured, is in that MVP talk. We have an AL Comeback Player of the Year award watch with Trevor Story. This is the team that we expected to have in February, and we are finally starting to get them, and they are a couple games away from having 2 10-game win streaks this season. That doesn't happen, but it's happening in Fenway Park right now. We appreciate each and every single one of you watching these videos. As always, the Red Sox are hot, and so are we here on Red Sox Digest. Hit that subscribe button. We're 225 subscribers away from 5,000. I'm telling you what, we hit 5,000, the Red Sox win the World Series. That's just plain facts. That's how the world works. So if you're watching, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time here on Red Sox Digest. Peace out, everybody.